First off, how difficult will it be coming up against a Rotherham side that are on a great run of form and high flying?
Yeah, it's clearly going to be difficult. Obviously, the very strong side, very physical, very athletic. Got a lot of pace in the wide areas with two wingers. Obviously, the two up top are going pretty well at the minute. So yeah, it's going to be a difficult game. There's no doubt about it. But we've had difficult games here over the last probably 2 months or so, and acquitted ourselves really well. Played well the majority of the time, and obviously with the backing of our fans as well, we've made it difficult for teams. So we need to do that tomorrow night.
You've had a full week of training this week. You've been able to work out some of the frustration from Saturday?
Little bits, yeah. I think from Saturday we can talk about technical and tactical. I just didn't think we run hard enough and sprinted hard enough, and tried to press the opposition well enough. So, I mean, they're not stuff that you really need to do in training. That's just a mindset. And sometimes you get that with a group, especially after a couple of defeats. So I said before the game, it was a little bit of a lose-lose for us. You know, people expect you to beat Southend, and that's the same with every team in this division, just because of obviously the season that they've had. As it happens, we weren't quite at it and we got punished. Having said that, we still should have took a minimum of a point out of the game. Obviously, going into the last minute or so, to concede a poor goal like that was disappointing. So, yeah, it just becomes more of a mindset rather than the actual performance.
Is it role reversal, do you think, this weekend?
I'd like to think so.
Yeah. Think they've got nothing to lose?
I'd like to think so, and you know, ultimately, all I would say is that where Rotherham are now, they're so far ahead of us in terms of the group that they've got, where they are in terms of being able to compete regularly at the top end of this division. You know, they've been competing at this level and the next level sporadically over the last 5 or 6 years. So they're way ahead of us in terms of their development. But you know, they've got a group of players that even when they're not on it and they're not quite at it, they can still get results. And we're a little bit away from that at the minute.
You've had a couple of months in the job now, seen a lot of League One football. Has League One changed much in the time you've been away?
Not massively, no, not massively. I would say you look at some of the clubs that are in it now, they're getting bigger and bigger, just because of the competitive nature of the Championship. I think, I would probably say that the last couple of times I've been at this level, there's always been at least one, sometimes two, like outstanding teams that seem to run away with the division, and then possibly 8 to 10 sides that looking to get in the 4 playoff spots. Whereas I suppose over the last 2 seasons, it's been a little bit more competitive, and going into the last 4 or 5 games of the season, it's still been undecided. You know, who would get the proper promotion places in the playoff spots.
I know the decision was made before you came here to move some of these games before the Tuesday nights to Fridays. Is that something you would want to do next season, or are you a traditional Saturday 3 o'clock manager?
No, not really. I quite like the thought of playing under the lights, to be honest with you. I remember as a player, you tended to get that little bit more. Well, I don't know if it was just me, but I just seemed to have a little bit more energy in the evening games under the lights, and the atmosphere, as we all know, it's almost like a cup tie because of the fact that it's played in the evening. So I'm sure because it's a Friday and the timing of it, it will be a little bit lively, and a few of the fans might be a little bit more lively than 3 o'clock on a Saturday. Possibly having just finished work or getting the day off work. So yeah, I'm expecting it to be a really good atmosphere, and you know, listen, I would be in favour of more if we had to.
Michael Bostwick, has these 2 games in a short space of time, have they come too soon for him? Or
yeah, they're too soon for Mickey, but yeah, I think hopefully, what are we on now, Thursday? Hopefully starting next week being with us possibly, which is obviously going to be a bonus.
Anthony Scully's joined the football club this weekend. This week he scored a lot of goals for West Ham's development setup. How crucial is it to get someone like him in?
Very, because obviously the situation with Tyler, you know, did think I was going into February with three strikers and it being really competitive. But obviously the late shout on Tyler meant that we had to act quickly. But obviously, you know, Anthony's someone that I've been aware of for a while, obviously because of my knowledge of the 23 market. And even though he's a young kid, he's a man. You know, he's very, very aggressive, and the players will probably tell you that in the couple of days of training that, you know, he has been training. I think the crowd will take to him, the fans will take to him. He likes to use his physical side of the game, but what he does as well, he gives you plenty of options because he can play as a 9, a 10 or a 7 coming off the line, and he scores goals, very highly thought of, and you know, we're just glad we got him.
And the fact he's had lots of development football, he's good to go.
Yeah, he's ready. Yeah, he's ready. He trains every single day, and it's not that often this happens, but he trains every single day how he plays.
Lovely. Thank you.
Well, Michael, just obviously you've touched a little bit there on new signings coming in. Is it a case of some might take a little bit longer than others to bed in and then obviously get their chance in the first team?
Yeah, I think so, and I think that'd be the same for even the lads who are already in the building. You know, there's no doubt about it that they will get better and better. Some will take longer, so I'm not concerned about that. I'm aware of it, and you know, they all sort of improve at different stages and different times. So, having said that, like I say, someone the likes of Anthony, he is a man in a so-called young person's body, and so to speak, and the way he plays the game, like I say, he plays it very aggressively, which I like. It's a part of his game that I like, and hopefully he'll adapt to it really quickly. Yeah,
there's obviously a lot of football to be played until the next transfer window that you've got, but is this sort of an early intention of what you're trying to build for next season?
Yeah, possibly to a degree, but you know, it's one of them where there's different ways and a type of variety that you need in a squad. You know, we're still so far away from where I want to be, and I don't, you know, I think I've been saying that all along, but we're so far away from where I want to be. Hopefully this time next year, when we're speaking just after the January window of next season, you know, we're in a place where hopefully similar to what Rotherham are now, where you're looking to really push on again and try and do something really special in the second half of the season. But where we are, it's that we're in a position now where we have to stay strong, resolute, and like I say, make sure that we're really competitive and we're fighting hard.
That's good.
Michael, I mean, football's ultimately all about points, but the next 15 games or so, what are you looking at from this and running to the end of the season?
I suppose just progression. Yeah, progression more than anything. First and foremost, said it when I come in, you know, having not played at this level for 21 years, whether people like it or not, or people want to hear it, the single most important thing is that Lincoln are playing at this level next year. And I said the same thing when I got promoted with Oxford. That's reality. It was 14 years then, it's 21 years now with Lincoln. That's the single most important thing, because what I want to do, and this might sound mental, I want to try and produce a squad that's capable of competing in the Championship. What I don't want to do is get promoted and find myself where all of a sudden you're going to get relegated again because you've not prepared yourself properly and put a squad together that's capable of competing at the next level. And that takes time. So, yeah, I think first and foremost, let's make sure that we get a little bit of progression between now and the end of the season, see certain things that we want to integrate into next season, and then make sure we have a good summer.
It's taken 2/3 of the season, but the big budget teams, the big teams like Rotherham, Sunderland, Portsmouth, we are now seeing them coming through. It's taken a while this year, maybe longer than we expected, but that is happening now.
It is, and you know that's why I was going to say 46 games, but it's 44 obviously this year with the Berry situation. But in general terms, over 46 games, that tends to happen, and you know I don't see it sort of changing going further forward. What you do see every year is you see 2 or 3 clubs who overachieve. You know, and I suppose if we do see signs of progression between now and the end of the season, as a club, Lincoln City, we want to be one of those teams that can't compete, obviously, with the big hitters of this league, but certainly can overachieve if we've got the right group.
No, he took mine. You took